What is up? It's your boy Johnny Shreve. IFBB promise to tell like it is. Welcome back to a podcast uncut. Yes, I've changed up the scenery a little bit. I've basically taken my camera from here and put it in the corner here. So I got this like L desk that can kind of get me in the middle. So I got a little more room. So I don't feel like I'm like hugging the monitor. Cause I was seeing I watched a couple episodes and I was like, and I'm like, damn, I'm real close to the screen. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to see my big ass face in the. So I'm trying to back up a bit here and do it like this. Be a little more casual. I can lean back. I can get all like this, and you know, like some of the guys on podcasts do like yeah, and like so and so, and then they're like, you know, adjusting the mic and stuff, and then because when I do something, I have to do it like to the nth degree. I can't just I can't do a podcast without researching enough to make sure that I'm doing this thing right visually. I know for the most part, you're just talking. And then hopefully, you know, whatever you're talking about, interesting enough for people actually listen to you. And hopefully you have a nice voice that people can, you know, sit there and really kind of just listen to you. Because when you transfer this onto just audio, you want to have that ASMR. I honestly did not know. I have no clue what that audio, whatever. I would just be like, what the hell is ASMR? ASMR. That's what happens when you hang out with Greg too long. I'm trying to mess with this thing here. I don't know if it's like I don't want to. How look? If I'm gonna do a podcast here and I got this thing like this, it just looks real. You gotta make sure it's right in the middle. Like this is the middle here, and yeah. So lost my train of thought. I thought I'd get on here, guys, and just react and respond again. This is gonna be a long one. So if you guys want to stick around. There's going to be some fun topics here. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about the John with the Maingain thing going on with Greg. We got to talk about that. We're going to talk about Pewdiepie and his claims that everybody in the film industry is on steroids.
They're all on steroids.
My points on that, my views on that. And then we're just going to talk about some stuff, you know, because people got some questions here. Anyway, so yes, I said I wouldn't respond. I wasn't going to respond. I'm not making a react. This is not a reaction video because I'm not reacting to him or anybody through video. I'm just literally giving my 2 cents because I've obviously talked to Greg personally about it. And then I kind of, you know, just watched a couple clips from here and there, some videos, and I was just like, Jesus, y'all both. And that's like, listen, you guys don't think that I'm like, Greg has 2 friends, okay? I should say that. Greg, that sounded too so bad. Greg has 2 close friends, and also the other close friends too. But myself and another guy, I'm gonna say his name. He knows who he is. And me and we are like we have no filter. So when we have to tell Greg certain things, we tell it like it is to the nth degree to Greg. Because Greg is the most analytical person I've ever met, but one of the most kindest people ever. Also, like very just like the most like the opposite of malicious. You know what I mean? He just does things not really understanding. Like socially, I would have to say that he misses some cues. So things go out a certain way. Then you know, myself and the other gentleman, we have to be like, Greg, no, that's not what, you know what I mean? So here's the story. So here's funny, just to kind of get an idea of who Greg is. I don't know if I'm allowed to, I can say this. He don't care. It'll be funny. So I got a buddy, the same buddy we're talking about. He's a firefighter. You know what I mean? He always sends us a bunch of guys, like just different memes that are just annoying. Like they're funny, annoying. They're like, you know what I mean? There's that one meme of that big ass black dude sitting on the edge of a bed and his things hanging out. Like his hey, yo, listen, I'm not saying I looked for a long time, just saying, you know, you recognize the man with I know it was Photoshop, but it was like, you're just like, it's too much in your face. So he sends like literally all year, you'll like open a message and you'll be reading the message, like, oh yeah, make sure you guys check out this thing. And then, oh cool, and you click the link and like, not again. Like, damn. Anyway, so this past week, he sends this message out to us, and basically says like, you know, restrictions Nova Scotia has, and like I'm like, oh man, and it was like perfectly, you know, lined up. It was basically like something catchy. I was like, oh look, I'm gonna get it and read it, but I'm not gonna say who it was actually, but it's funny. So So he sends me like, Nova Scotia will limit social gatherings to 5. All bars, restaurants to be closed December 31st. Shutdown of all schools and non-essential businesses until at least March 22. More in the link. So, so you click the link and you're like, not again. Then I write back to him I'm like the gyms. It says the gyms. It says the gym. It says in the link too. It's like F, and then I wrote to him, "You piece of." I'm like, "You piece of shit," and he's like, "Bam, the dick that keeps on giving." Ha ha. And then he writes to me, he's like, "Everybody I sent to it laughs, says asshole or something, but no, not Greg. He didn't. He didn't even get it after." He hits the link button. He still doesn't get it. So that's Greg. So I'm gonna read you the message from Greg, because so I get this message. He screenshots it to me and sends me the screenshot. And then this is a conversation between my boy and Greg. And he's like, so I see the link. He's like, link. He's like, haha, the link has all the kinds of stuff in it. Jesus, like it was him leading Greg on to click the link. Greg writes, "What?" I'm like, "You made me click that link again. Is anything of what you said, of what you wrote, true?" It's like, it's not true. None of it's true. And he's like, "Nope. All of it's a joke. You send it to people, then they click the link, and bam, exclamation, exclamation, exclamation mark, cock." And he's like, and Greg writes back, "So bars and restaurants aren't closed, in other words." And he's like, "Oh, LOL, Greg." And Greg analyzes it. Everyone else clicks the link, writes back, "You effer." Exclamation mark. And he's like, "It's all a joke." And then Greg writes back, "That's because I analyze everything." That is Greg in a freaking nutshell. Literally. He gets it. He's extremely smart. He'll put the content out that way, where he's analyzing and trying to be creative in his analytical brain, and his analytical brain is too analytical to be extremely creative. So it limits him to just being extremely analytical. And this is my experience. Right? This is my thing, right? And then and that's Greg, who Greg is. So you know what I mean? So a bunch of stuff happened with with the Maingaining, whatever. And it's pretty funny because I was like, I remember Maingaining because I've met Greg. This 2022 will mark 10 years I known Greg. It'll be 10 years. And further on, this year is when we become friends 10 years ago. So I've always remember Greg talking about Maingaining. It was Greg's thing, Maingain. What is Maingaining? Well, for me, I obviously knew it was something basically it was you keep the amount of body fat you have. And then, if it's a good body fat, and then you just basically build as much muscle as you can, sustaining that body fat, which is basically what we want to do after doing a show. You know what I mean? You start off doing a show. I might start off doing a show. If you're 20, you got to put it this way. If you're 15, 20 pounds to 25 pounds, I would say outside stage, right? You know what I'm saying? Stage weight, right? And you lose 25 pounds and you get down to 5% body fat, 6-7% body fat, whatever it is. On your way back up to your original weight you were would basically be Maingaining if you were at a weight that was in a good weight range percentage wise to the show. Because anytime we do a show, Greg, every time me and Greg would do a show, it's 100%. There's no guessing. There's a scale. There's body fat. There's calipers, scale and calipers all the time. That's it. And it's I would always mark off around 50% body fat when I started to prep, and then I get down. I always would. If people roll back into the videos, anyway. So if you guys look back at my last my videos this year, even from my first time I did become a leader in the Great Doucette, I literally was, he did my body fat at 50%, and then the next year, 15%, literally before I started this prep that I didn't get to finish, and then there you go. So there you have it. And that's been Maingaining forever. You know what I mean? It was never something yeah, man, we want to stay. Because there's no way we're staying, stage weight at all. It's impossible, right? And Greg's one of those anomalies who can sit in that 10%, 8%. That's Greg. That's how Greg's always been, forever. Anybody who's from this area will say exactly that. So watching the whole thing, and you got everybody out there nipping at him, this and that. The mosquitoes, quote unquote. People putting out videos and stuff, and I answered back to Greg because Greg's like, I'm not gonna pay attention to mosquitoes. No one, blah blah blah. I'm like, look, I'm like, yo, man, you gave these people, you gave them a life. Remember that quote from Batman? It's from The Dark Knight, and what do you call it? Alfred's like, you changed things. You know what I'm saying? Like, this when Joker came out. It's like, you changed things. You hit him whatever where it hurts, blah 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 blah, and you gotta be, be responsible basically that they're gonna come back. Different kind of villains are coming out. You know what I mean? And I said the same to Greg. I'm like, Greg, you changed things. You address the haters, regardless if you were, you address haters in, I guess, smaller, channels, which to me is like, whatever, just a small channel. But like for people, it's like, you only address the smaller channels when they're saying something good about you, but the ones that aren't, you'll do a video. And it's like, I know how Greg is. He's just like, hey, I know if I comment about this guy who wants to say my book is good, there's some evidence there that their book is good or my whatever is good. And he's a smaller channel, and I'm not just trying to grab a bigger channel, and people probably will see through that. And I'm like, nah, not quite. You would think that, but that's not how it works, unfortunately, because we're so, subscribe based, follower based. If we're not, you should be talking to the bigger people, whatever, or not paying any mind to the smaller, or whatever. And that's basically how it works. But I said to Greg, you can't expect to have a channel that does what it does, right? You do natty or nots. You're calling out people, and you're calling out, and he calls people in a non-malicious, so anybody who watches a video, who actually watches through a video, if you don't like his voice, cool, don't like his voice, but listen to the actual message right straight through. And the dude isn't actually making fun. He's not making fun of anybody through any of the natty nots he's doing. He's calling it out, doing something that his followers want in the first place. I said, don't do it. That's why I don't do it, because exactly what's happening is happening. And he did it. But if you look at it, they're not malicious. It's just, when you say something about somebody and you go about that way, it's the perception everybody has on you as being like, oh, you're the guy that attacks people. And that's your perception for those who aren't even looking and actually watching, because most people don't even sit through a whole damn, video in the first place. They literally will watch. You look at your analytics, like, yeah, your watch time went up from, 4 minutes to 6 minutes. It's in the green. It's like, I just put a damn 30-minute video. You guys are watching 30-minute videos? You're scrolling past my shit and watching sections of it? Damn. You know what I mean? So that's what happens. So you have channels all over the place that are, who are, obviously who are, you got it. I'm not even I'm going to say the names because you know who they are, but it's obvious. It's like it's their job. It's like, I cannot wait to dispel Greg because, it's like Greg has done his thing where, look, Greg, I told him you got to take responsibility. You commented on these people. You responded to people regardless if it was a comment on Instagram or whatever. You made it a thing. You commented on no matter who it is, mosquitoes or not. If you want to say mosquito, someone who doesn't have a channel or it doesn't really matter, then you have to say the same thing about somebody who doesn't have that much of a channel who's a follower or a fan. You have to say the same thing. They're mosquitoes in a sense where it's like, well, it's not a mosquito unless you're saying something good about me. So I'll listen to you. And it's like, no, if you have a smaller channel, smaller anything, and you respond to it, you are giving life to those people to do it. Anyway, so, I just said and you can tell the guys you can tell the channels who are literally just, it's their job. It seems like it's their job to dispel Greg. It's, you know what I mean? And for all, you do what you got to do. If that's the way you want to grow your channel, that's cool. And I said the same thing to Greg. Everybody's responsible for their own channel and how they want to grow their channel, their fan base, whatever you want to call it. Everybody has to take responsibility. If you want to have your channel based around, 50% education and 50% trying to dismantle Greg, cool. Or whatever channel it is, that's totally fine. That'll be who follows you. And then you have to continue to be that person or that channel, because that's why you get the following, right? And the same thing for Greg. It's almost like for him or any channel who has a big channel, how you start off your channel and how you attract those people, you're going to have to continue to be that person forever on this channel, unless you decide to do another channel or redo all your content. And at that point, people are like, hey, wait a minute, man. You see the comments. Stick to what you know. Why are you doing these other videos and stuff? Why can't you just do the same video? I like that video. Why are you doing videos on this? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, yo, it's my channel to do the kind of videos I feel like. But that's what happens, right? And it's completely fair for the subscriber for sure too, because the subscriber's coming on to watch me, and they're expecting a certain thing from me. They're expecting a coaching up. You know what I mean? They're expecting me, to talk about mental health or whatever. Whatever I've been putting out, But I put that on for a reason. I've been showing a lot more of what I do for a reason, because I don't want to get caught as I can only talk about fitness. I can only talk about bodybuilding. I don't know anything about anything else. I can't talk about anything but fitness. And I like and I love how that's not true. I like and know and love how I can talk about a lot. And so there's so much more that I want to talk about. But again, for Greg, it's like, hey man, it's like, you got to roll with him, right? And it doesn't rattle him. I don't feel like it rattles him. I know it gets to him in some manner when it comes to just like overall the sheer volume, you know what I mean, of hate that goes there, because I feel that it's misinterpreted, the person who's hating to begin with. And then the amount of it, I mean, if you got a channel that has 1 million and you got 10% don't like you, 1% doesn't like you. There's still a lot of people that sit there and say, hey man, loser, whatever. So, that's my whole thought on that, right? Like, you give people, like Greg's not clean of this in the sense of, Greg does not deserve to be treated poorly, but you have to take responsibility of what you put out, period. Like, if you address haters, if you address mosquitoes, or even say it, if you even acknowledge it, they're gonna come back. You know what I mean? And then you have to defend yourself, like, because that's what you do. I even told Greg, I'm like, yo, dude, you understand that, like, you like you don't like seeing, being annoyed by mosquitoes, but the dopamine that sets you off to have to respond is what you got to get away from. And that's for everybody. So anyone that needs to just kind of, take a lesson from this, it's like, look, do not respond to mosquitoes or acknowledge them. You ever, like, literally, if you ever swat a mosquito and the motherfucker just keeps coming back, he's like, what's up, dude? What's up? You can't hit me. What's up? Big for nothing, mug. You can't. Yeah, and it keeps coming back. And then if you kind of like sit there and not do anything, it just gets right there, and you're just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you address mosquitoes. Anyway, I'm gonna do a video on Maingaining. Actually, I actually have I actually have a chart up here that I'm gonna explain to you in a video, but it's gonna be pretty dope. I'm gonna give you like a little teaser now, but here it is. Here's my Maingain chart that'll help, for people to understand, because my thing is explaining things to people in a way where it's extremely easy, because we have to understand that we all have, like, listen, if you didn't go to school for any of the shit we talk about, or take a certification or whatever it is, if you didn't study any of the stuff we talk about, you don't know any of the right terminology. You don't know anything. Like, give me a break. I'd say this to a lot of people. I talk to them and I'm like, hey man, and they're like, I'm like, how aware are you really? And I literally ask yourself this question. I'm like, how aware are you really of yourself? How much of yourself do you know being in this skin? And I want you guys to ask yourself that question, because I'm going to say one thing to you right now. And I do this to everybody when they say, yeah, man, I'm aware. I know what I'm, whatever. And I say, all right, cool, man. What's this bone called? And they're like, what you talking about? Me, it's my forearm. You mean my forearm? I'm like, no, not the one. No, there's two bones here. Like, what's this one right here? What is that bone? I'm like, I don't. And then I tell them, oh, no, whatever, right? And they're like, and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, so I can ask you for sure what kind of car you drive, how much gas you're supposed to put in your car, whatever it's like that. But you can't tell me what this bone's called, and you've been in this body for 30 plus years? Could you imagine driving a car for 30 years and not knowing what the steering wheel's called? Could you imagine that? Like, honestly, how absurd does that actually sound to you? Like, think about how crazy that is. Think about that. Honestly, some people who have been probably driving, I would say, let's just say you got your license at 16, like most people did. I didn't. And let's say you're my age. So you've been driving for 15 plus years. Imagine you got your license and had no clue what the rim was called. Like, yo, man, it's like, hey, man, I need to get my wheel. I need the wheel replaced because it's flat or something. I don't, I gotta put stuff in the wheel. What happened is it just is it the tire or is it the rim? It's the wheel. You know what I'm saying? It's the wheel. Okay, so the wheel. Is it the steering wheel or is it the rim? What do you mean? The metal part of the wheel damaged? Oh, that's what's that called a minute? That's called the rim. Is that part damaged? Is it bent at all? No, nothing like that at all. That's perfectly fine. It's round still, but but the other part of it, the dark part, the black part, it's flat. That's the tire. Okay, yeah, my tire. It's flat. Imagine that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd be like, what? How the hell did you get a license and you can't tell me the easiest? Like, I'm not saying you gotta know the entire part of the freaking car. I don't. But I know damn well how to put gas in it. I know how to, like, jump it if I need to. I can change a tire if I have to. I can do all those things to a car that I can do, but most people can't do that with their own body. Literally. No clue. Man, I hurt my ankle. What do I do, man? I can't do anything with my ankle. I have no clue. Go see a physiotherapist. Ice, whatever, meantime, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how crazy I think it is that people, I don't even know how I got in that conversation, but that's so crazy if we think about people being aware of, that's what I'm talking about, terminology and stuff. I got off on that. Wow. How did I get out there? I'm just talking, let my brain do its thing. But seriously, that's why I have to make things extremely easy here, because I don't expect people to understand. Not because I think they're stupid. Not at all. It's just sheer ignorance. If somebody sat there and want to talk to me about, there's a lot of things I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not expected to know. I'm really not expected to know economics. I'm not. I didn't go to school with this, so if I was talking to somebody about economics, I would be like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, right? And that's the thing. So it's like, if I'm trying to explain it, if someone's on here and they want to understand things, we gotta explain it to them in a way that they can understand. We don't gotta tell them a bunch of big ass words, scientific words that they're like, what? Some people can't even explain or even like enunciate. Anyway, off to Pewdiepie. Pewdiepie put out some. I'm gonna bring this one up. Pewdiepie put out some big accusations here on the old fitness industry. I would say, the film industry. And I'm pretty sure some of you guys probably saw it, but the one, every fitness celebrity influencer is lying.
They're all on steroids.
Best nutrition as well.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
And it goes back and forth.
I didn't used to know, and I worked out.
And he goes on to like giving examples about, like The Rock.
Tell someone that doesn't lift that The Rock is most likely on steroids. I mean, the guy's like what? He's approaching 50 years to pack that kind of muscle.
He goes on talking about this, and he's saying like, yo, these guys are not natty. He's basically pulling a Greg. He's not even saying natty or not. He's just like, yo, these guys aren't natty. They are taking steroids. At least Greg says, if someone has to hold a gun in my head, and I think that's what people. I can get back to Greg for a second. I think that's what people don't understand when Greg says like, hey man, if someone's gonna put a gun in your head, for Greg, it's like for Greg, I've said to him like, dude, if someone puts a gun in your head and says, hey man, do you think they're natty or not? I'm like, yo, I don't know. You can just say I don't know. But Greg's idea is like, yo man, someone that hold a gun in my head and say, hey, you better tell me what you think, without trying to, fluff it up or, protect it. Just what is a person natty or not? He's like, nah, man, if there's probably not. You know what I'm saying? So PewDiePie is basically saying like, hey man, these guys are not. Nope, not at all. What do I think? Here's my thing. So a couple of things he says that that some things, that are, pretty, are good to hear from someone like this, because I'm not saying like, oh yeah, it's good for him that he's going on the same people on steroids and stuff like that. But for people to, like himself, that he's, a gym goer and in his industry, huge industry, and having as many subs, like 111 million. Jesus. Wow. He's living. Look at his chair. His chair he got a nice chair. What the heck kind of chair he got? That chair's dope. And he got the headset on too. I should have a headset. Anyway, it's a channel like that kind of shedding light to the to the people out there that can be like, so they have like a little more realistic expectations and understanding like, look, you can't do what these guys do. Number one. Two, I would bet they're on steroids. Now, here's the thing so here's what I know from experience. When you go on, if you get a role for a movie, you have to get a medical check and, check up, whatever, get a medical done. Make sure you're cleared and healthy to do a movie. You could be doing some parts there that require some stunts or whatever it is. And they ask you in a rare question. They have a doctor and that will actually, test and, feel around, whatever. And the question on there is like, any kind of medical prescriptions the doctor prescribes that we should know. And if you put testosterone and enanthate on your thing, what happens? Right? If you put test enanthate on your script, on the Q&A, whatever, and they're like, all right, cool. So what, will the doctor give you that? Like, what's going on? And you're like, no, I got that from my boy on the street. They're like, oh, we gotta insure you. And that kind of makes us nervous. So, and you gotta understand, like, the ignorant mind will be like, hey man, someone's on steroids, they'll probably die or get roid rage and beat up the whole cast. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one's educating this shit, right? But they'll rather be like, no steroids, because I don't want you dying on my set in case like you have high blood pressure or something like that, right? It's not gonna happen. But either way, they have to be able to insure you. And like anybody who understands like insurance, if you want to get like health insurance, I had to get health insurance out of my pocket before they wouldn't give me. I'm like, Jesus, they wouldn't share me because of my mental health, and because I was open and told them that I was going to therapy, right? It wasn't like I was sitting like, yeah, I'm not trying to hit it, but I wasn't saying like, hey, I'm a schizophrenic or a manic depressive and I have episodes a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not like I said that to him. I was like, basically like, I'm in therapy. I've been diagnosed by borderline personality disorder. Anyway, so they won't insure you if you're getting medication. Like if you got like, if you're getting medication from, your doctor for whatever it is, wherever it is, as long as you're getting medication as long as someone's signing off on your prescription from a doctor, they will insure you. But if you're getting prescription-esque drugs, pharmaceutical, anything, and no one's signing off on it, they're not going to insure you. There's that case. Then number two, no one's trying to burst the bubble for a lot of kids out there. You got to understand the audience of these guys. Marvel Cinematic Universe, okay? We're looking at DC. These are predominantly like they're not too many people my age. There are a lot of people my age that are watching DC, but those are the ones that were like were kids. Like if you like DC, MCU, Marvel, DC, whatever it is, you like it because you liked it as a kid. And if you liked it as a kid and you're an adult, you still like it. That's how it goes. Or for like good movies. But for the majority, the kids are watching those movies, right? So you can't be having Chris Hemsworth at a press conference and be like, hey Chris, how'd you prepare for this movie? Yeah, it was like about like 500-600 milligrams of testosterone, some D-ball, we threw in some GH for just a healing process. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna say that. They can't say it. And it's irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant when it comes to a movie. Like, here's my thing to defend some of these guys out there. It's like, yo, you're watching a movie based on superheroes, and you think, yo, come on, man, use your brain. Yeah, I think Chris Hemsworth is natural. He puts a lot of hard work into playing a superhero that I can believe in. What? Give your head a shake. You gotta really ask, hey Greg or whoever, hey Greg, hey, do you think that The Rock is natural? Cause like, like he works out really hard, and Men's Health said that he eats like 6 chickens all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, the dude plays characters that you have to believe are real characters in life. I'm doing one of those that dude is like, really? Really? The fact that Pewdiepie's got to say it? Hey guys, yo, hey, listen, come on. It goes without saying. You serious? Anyway, so, like, why do we have to bring that cut? Why is that even a topic? Why is that even a topic? I'm talking about it because it's something to talk about, but it's a topic. Like, why is that a topic? Why are we really having episodes on, hey man, it's really good that, you know, I got like, it's good that PewDiePie is saying shit, but the fact that he's got to say it, the fact that there's Natty or Nots actually out there, the fact that that's actually a thing that people are interested in. They want to hear someone's opinion on if you think my man's Natty or not. It's like homeboy's playing superhero. Homie's playing a superhero. Like, you got to think about it, right? Give your head a shake. Chris Evans playing Captain America. Captain America. The only reason why they don't have like an actual Hulk is because the character in the book is bigger than all the other juiced out looking characters. Yo, go look at Marvel. Like, you guys watch. Come on, y'all. Open up a comic book and tell me that if someone can act like this in a movie and make you believe it, you think we gotta have a conversation about if this guy's natty or not? Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, there's some other natty knots out there. They're like, yo, man, hey, I got it. Hey, is Athlete X natural? Is he natty? Is he natty or not? I don't care. I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't care enough to waste my brain wondering if he is. And maybe because I'm bigger than him in a sense, like physically. And for me, it's like, I don't really care if someone who's like $160 or 70 or 80 is ripped, and I'm going to sit there and have to have to really think about if it's, that doesn't cross my mind. Like, I'm not thinking like, hey man, I wonder if that 185-pound rip dude's natty or not. Huh. You know what I'm saying? And I guess in my realm or world, or because, you know, I've been around bodybuilders or whatever, I'm like, but like, obviously they're not. I'm in a freaking league that has steroids in it. But literally back in the day, like what do you call it? Social media. Before your boy Rich Piana decided to be like, yo, look, you know, or Boston Lloyd, some of those guys earlier in the day, some of the, I would say, OGs that came out and said, hey, we're going to actually talk about steroids here. Is this thing on yet? Because I really like that. I really liked that blue. But look at how nice that blue is, man. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? It's like pre them, you didn't hear about it. It was taboo to talk about. You literally, and I think that was a problem. I think that's what happened. I think that was the secretiveness bullshit of the IFBB not saying from the start, yo, homeboys on steroids. Hey, all of us, you know, I can't say now because I'm not on steroids, but like everyone in the IFBB is on steroids. I said it, but it was literally something that you'd have to keep a secret. So there are people who literally be like, hey man, is Ronnie Comia, I got people right now that are like older than me who are fans, you know, whatever. And they're like, yo, is so-and-so really, was he really on steroids? And you're like bodybuilders actually look like Marvel characters. If bodybuilders were actually like legitimately good actors, like out there who could actually act, like imagine if like, you know, there was a couple bodybuilders who are good as actors as like Chris Hemsworth. Like imagine Bumstead was a legit ass good actor, better than you know, better than Chris Hemsworth. That was CGI. What? And you could show his legs. Anybody else notice that you never see legs of actors? You know why? Because most shots are done here. No one's seen like mostly all shots are done right here, like here. Like you do not act with your hands, and you don't. This isn't acting. You know, I'm getting some coaching and whatnot. So for the most part, when you act, you're just acting from here to here. You know what I'm saying? Like you're acting with your face, you're listening, you're waiting, whatever. You're kind of, you know, that's how the drama stuff comes from you being able to deliver and, you know, you convince. And then like every once in a while, you got to do some kind of bam, bam, bam. We lower a little bit and we get down to here. And then when you start kicking, when motherfuckers is kicking people, You don't see. You're not zooming in on how big their legs are. You're not. Anyway, could you imagine if IFBB professional bodybuilders could actually act? You wouldn't need to go and find anybody. You wouldn't see Joe. You'd be like, hey, you got some spandex. You got to get some Under Armour. You got some good Under Armour over there. Get some Nikes and Under Armour and put that spandex on them. We don't got to do anything else. Nah, we don't got to tape or nothing. Hey, you see him? You see Chris Bumstead? Chris Bumstead easily. And we all know they took Thanos from Rich Piana. Like, come on, man. We all know that is Rich Piana. So I like Thanos. Imagine. Anyway, how to get on that topic? How to start talking about that? Anyway, yeah, Pewdiepie. I have to go back to my notes. Pewdiepie. So Pewdiepie, I agree in a sense, but again, the old natty not culture is for me ain't my thing. It ain't my thing. What also isn't my thing. What it's funny. What is kind of my thing is when I watch people do responses on natty or nots. Like I don't like. I'm telling you, like, if you are a big channel watching me right now, and someone does a natty or not on you, I want you to go back and watch my videos, and they're basically called "What Not to Do If Trying to Prove Your Natty Status." And I seen a lot of people doing some things out there. I was like, yo, man, you really trying to get people to think you're on steroids because your defense is terrible. Like the one with Isaiah Miranda's like, he went to the freaking, went to the doctor, like, hey doc, yeah, take my test levels. I didn't mean to prove these dudes that I ain't on steroids or nothing. I'm natty. Get it back. Hey, sorry, Mr. Miranda, but your test levels are plummeted. Well, what's that? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I never in my life have been like, I wonder if Justin Timberlake's natural. I wonder if Usher's natty. I gotta know. Because if he's natty, I can be just like Usher. That's what it sounds like to me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never like, and it's probably because I don't know, probably because I got a confirmation bias. I'm a bigger guy. I hang around with athletes. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen like some natty or nots Greg has done on like Tyrone Beckham. I believe at one point he was natural for sure, 100%. And if he's even now, honestly, even now, I would say, yeah, like Chris Jones, that guy's natural. It's not a kick on him. That's like, yo, you understand? Like, our genetics are pretty damn dope. Are really dope. Like, dope. I know some guys who've never been on gear ever. And I'm like, the second you decide to go on stage and do a bodybuilding show, it's over. Look at Quentin. And that's not even like, oh, that's only one person, Nah, bro, sorry for you. Most of the time, the black, I'm just saying, y'all can get in the hating section on there all you want. I don't care what you say. I've been black for 38 years. 39 years coming up. Jeez, I'm getting old. Anyway, but I have met so many people of my color, my culture, that have never taken anything, that are just absolutely insane, that you be like, for sure the guy's on steroids. And you're like, nope. I remember getting told I was on steroids in high school, football, all the time. I used to be like, thanks. Before I even met Greg, I was like, that's right, baby. Hell yeah. Yes. Whoa. I'm on steroids, but I'm not. I look like I'm on steroids. Oh, them damn trap workouts are working out for me. Literally, I did traps like all the time. I used to do traps like you wouldn't even believe. I would do traps until like I was literally like having like, freaking cramps in my neck. I'd be like, ah. Anyway, that's all I thought I'd talk about. Thought I'd kind of touch on some things, have some fun, chit-chatting, and all that good stuff. But yeah, man, I just thought I'd switch up the room, give us a little more, room to kind of move around, a little more comfortable, get a little more, I don't know, spacey or something. By the way, so I just turned on. I'm like, yo, can they see that? Look what it says. Look at it says, kits. So I can sit. I'm like, yo, these guys see this? It's just joke, yo. It's for my contacts. You dumb. But I saw. I was like, imagine it was sitting out here like this, like, yo, I'm natty. Yeah, I ain't taking no more steroids. I ain't even taking GH. And they got a thing here that says kits in the back. Is it say kits back there? Shit. Nah, this is for my contacts. Anyway, guys, I thought I'd bring it to you guys. I thought I'd just have some fun today with this kind of style, just chit chat away. Think you guys could, you know, enjoy it, what I got to say. But stay tuned for more because I'll be doing a lot more of this, getting a little more organized. I will just test out the room. Jesus Christ. I'll just test out the room, get my shit figured out, and bam, here, you know, got all my stuff. This is how it's gonna look. Anyway, guys, hope you guys liked the video, guys. If you did, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. You know, I'm coming on the tell like it is, transparent, vulnerable truth. Coaching, JONNI.com, guys. Check out right now. Go in the description below, guys. Click on the links for consults. If you want to know what my consult, if you want to know what my coaching is all about, book yourself a consult, 15 or 30 minutes. At the end of that consult, I deduct it off any package that you pick. That description below has got a lot of promo codes and links there to help save your life or change life for better. I promise you on that, guys. Guys, get my ebook if you're training, right? If you're just, hey, it's the start of the year. Some of you guys are like, hey man, I need an answer. I need some help for my training. You guys want an awesome book that's gonna give you training plans, system fundamentals and explanations and everything like that with a, you know, private video directory for exercises. Come on, get it on, guys. I'm telling you right now, $99. I'm giving you, it's way, I'm telling you, it costs way. I could have charged way more than that for sure. But yo, it's worth it. Anyway, guys, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram right now. Instagram and TikTok. Follow me there, guys. Send me your progress pics, your foodie pics, and your training clips, and I'll repost it. You got to actually mention me, and I'll repost it for you. So you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, I'll keep Jeep chasing. Peace.